Hi, and welcome to the ACES Centre. This is the Unit of Competency ICAA 5056B. How to prepare disaster recovery and contingency plans. This will address the following elements. Evaluate impact of system on business continuity. Evaluate threats to system. Formulate prevention and recovery strategy. Develop a disaster recovery plan to support strategy. Element 1. Evaluate impact of system on business continuity. This will address the following performance criteria. Identify business critical functions and the security environment from documentation and from discussion with business area and project team. Identify critical data and software from documentation. Assess potential impact of business risk and threats on IT systems. Identify and evaluate statutory requirements, commercial requirements, and contingency possibilities according to specifications and cost restraints. Element 2. Evaluate threats to system. This will address the following performance criteria. Identify threats to the system with consideration of security analysis and internal and external business environment. Evaluate specific risk minimisation alternatives against specifications and cost restraints. Element 3. Formulate prevention and recovery strategy. This will address the following performance criteria. Evaluate prevention and recovery options to support critical business functions against business specifications and cost restraints. Review current operational procedures to ensure adequate risk safeguards and contingency plans are in place. Submit disaster recovery and prevention strategy to appropriate person for approval. Element 4. Develop disaster recovery plan to support strategy. This will address the following performance criteria. Identify and document resources required for disaster recovery according to specifications and cost restraints. Identify and document processes required for disaster strategy according to project standards. Identify cut-over criteria before initiating disaster plan. Document disaster recovery plan and submit to appropriate person for review and sign-off. From doing this unit of competency, you can expect to gain the following knowledge. Broad knowledge of basic engineering, for example, when evaluating threats. Broad knowledge of fire and safety knowledge, for example, when formulating prevention and recovery strategy. Detailed knowledge of backup methodologies, for example, when formulating prevention and recovery strategy. Broad knowledge of systems engineering, for example, when evaluating threats. Specific components of the business planning process relevant to the development of IT business solutions, for example, when evaluating impact of system on business continuity. Broad knowledge of the client business domain, for example, when evaluating impact of system on business continuity. Detailed knowledge of the system's current functionality, for example, when evaluating impact of the system on business continuity. From doing this unit of competency, you can expect to acquire the following skills. Logistic management skills for identified resources and procedure skills. For example, when IT hardware, software and resources required for disaster recovery are identified and documented according to project specifications and cost restraints. Negotiation skills in relation to self and other team members and applied to a defined range of predictable problems. For example, when business critical functions are identified from project documentation and discussion with client business area and project team. Project planning skills in relation to scope, time, cost, quality, communications, risk analysis, and management. For example, when business critical functions are identified from project documentation and discussion with client business area and project team, and when contingency possibilities are identified and evaluating according to project specifications and cost restraints. Research skills for specifying analysing and evaluating broad features of a particular business domain and best practice in system development. For example, when threats to the system are identified, taking into consideration security analysis and internal and external business environment. Facilitation and presentation skills in relation to transferring and collecting information and gaining consensus on concepts. For example, when business critical functions are identified from project documentation and discussion with client, business, area and project team, and when disaster recovery plan is documented and submitted to higher authorities for review and sign-off. This is the end of the relevant information for this unit of competency. Thank you.